Welcome into Racing to Win. We've got you covered for Sha Tin on Sunday this week with a 10-race program, and joined in the studio to preview it all today to keep you entertained right across the program. It is Paul Elling and Tom Wood. And Tom, what are we looking forward to?
Well, we've got Class 1 mark action, and we've also got Class 2 action. There's a few interesting first starters going through the course of the afternoon as well. But the Class 1 race, we've got Beauty Joy back in grade with his best mate back on board again, Zach.
He is indeed, and he's not well in at the weights though, Paul.
No, he's got to carry the big weight, 135. There's a couple down the bottom, like the Golden Scenery, quite progressive with that lighter weight. There's a jackpot as well, 1.6 million going into the triple trio as well, so decent jackpot there.
All right, so that's the news from the boys. We've got a scratching two to pass on before we crack into the show. Glenelly Generals has come out. Super Axiom will be the horse replacing him. Keith Young takes the ride on Super Axiom. As far as the meeting details go, they look this way with a 1 o'clock kickoff. We have got the 10 races, and the rail is in the A course position. Meeting number 46, and all of them are on the turf. There is the rundown of the meeting. The two races we preview: the third over the 1400, the Class 1, and the sixth, a competitive Class 4 over the 1200 metres. The third race, though, Beauty Joy coming back in trip. His last 8 have been in group company. Cordyceps 6 blinkers again, 1600 back to 1400 after 4th in the Classic Mile last time. Healthy Happy disappointing in Class 1 company last start. Blaze Warriors a 3-time course and distance winner. Turin Red Sun has the visor off and the shadow roll going on. And Beluga, horse number 7, is a 4-time winner course and distance. Just a small field here, Tom, which can make the speed a little tricky to read. Sometimes they go very slow up front, and Healthy Happy does like to lead.
Yeah, and he's likely to probably not get any competition here at all. Really Healthy Happy. Well, I guess it is dependent in some respects, Paul, on what sort of mood Beauty Joy is in, whether he wants to fight Zach Purton or not, who does have a very good record aboard him. If he is in that sort of mood, Zach just might have to let him roll and maybe go forward up outside to either Beluga or Healthy Happy. But overall, there doesn't look to be a lot of pace in the race.
Yeah, that's the key with with this map with Beauty Joy. I mean, look, ideally he should be just behind Turin Red Sun. If he does fire up, they can go forward, but I'm sure he'll want to get a little bit of cover out there. The Golden Scenery and Blaze Warrior, they go back, but I don't think there's going to be too many problems with a small field for them.
That is a look at the speed map. We've got an interview to kick us off. Nick was out at Sha Tin yesterday and spoke to the rider of Cordyceps 6. It is Alexi Bedell.
Alexi, Cordyceps 6 is one of your rides on the weekend. Race 3, the Class 1, looks a good race as well. Your horse comes back from the Classic Mile. First off, talk me through the Classic Mile, because he ran a really good race there up in Trip, didn't he?
Yes, he ran a great race. I was drawn wide. Makes it a lot harder for us, and I thought he ran a great race. Coming back to 1400, I think this time he's got the blinkers on, and that's going to help him, I assume. Maybe 1400 might be the best distance at the moment, just right in between, and I think he's in pretty good form.
Were you always quite confident going into the mile that he would acquit himself really well? I mean, there was such a big unknown with him.
Yeah, that's right. It's not easy, but he's a very easy horse. Like, he's very relaxed. He's never been very keen, so I wasn't really. I was concerned about the stamina, but not his manners, not his behaviour. So, but he stayed on well.
He's obviously done the majority of his racing with the blinkers. You made mention of those going back on. I guess coming back in Trip, if it's not broken, don't fix it, I suppose, and they go back on. Yeah,
I think he's going to run a good race. I think he's the weight that he carries is just reasonable, and he seemed to be in good form. So I'm confident he should run well.
He jumps from gate number 2. I know it isn't a big field, Alexi, just the 7 runners, but certainly in a ground-saving position from the start.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's got an explosive and short turn of foot, so you're just looking for some cover and find the way through or out and just try to win the race.
You've ridden one of his rivals, Healthy Happy, on more than one occasion. We know that he can roll forward, so I guess the tempo of the race could certainly suit your fellow.
Yeah, it should be okay. I mean, it looks like it's going to be a normal standard tempo, nothing crazy. So But anyway, he seemed to relax pretty well, and he's got that good turn of foot, so I can put him everywhere I want.
Just early on in his career, Alexei, he was sort of a little bit, had the tendency to get a little bit fired up and things. Do you think he is relaxing now in every manner as he's got that bit older?
Yes, definitely. He gained maturity, and he's settled very well. So I think with experience, he's still a young horse, right? And he's just getting more mature.
Alexei Bedell there, Tom. As Alexei and Nick said in the interview, he went a cracking race in the Classic Mile.
He did, but I just wondered, Paul, if that sort of form is going to stack up against the older horses here, that 4-year-old Classic Mile form, because not many changed their spots in the run there. And I wonder if, as well, if he's come back not as sort of progressive as we thought he was first season.
Yeah, they put the blinkers back on him, so maybe that's going to fire him up a little bit. I know what you mean, because those four, it was very pace orientated, that Classic Mile. I'll put him in on a very minor line, because I think 1400, coming back to the 1400 looks good.
All right, so that is a Cordyceps 6. What about this horse, Paul? Beauty Joy, who one of his biggest dangers every time he lines up is himself.
That's the problem, isn't he? Look, he's got to carry the big weight. That just worries me a little bit. It's going to be a lot easier. I mean, he raced against Golden 60 at L last time. This is easier. But as such, he's got to carry 135. He has carried 133 to victory, but 135 with some of these progressive horses. I still think he'll run a big race.
Yeah, and he has also carried 131 pounds to victory in the past as well. He's not an overly big horse as well. He sort of thins out a bit, so there might be maybe the concern there with the weight he has to carry.
Speaking of weight, these two, Tom, have none. The Golden Scenery and Beluga. Healthy Happy really disappointing leading up here. There was nothing in the report other than Zach suggested he laid in under pressure and found nothing.
And he quite often lays in, this horse, does Healthy Happy, so he certainly did go down in the disappointing category. The form out of this race has worked out okay. Circuit Stellar the other day, the Irishman coming out and winning as well. But I think Golden Scenery's got a big chance in this race, Paul, with a lightweight, and he's always very consistent, 2-time course and distance winner.
Yeah, he is. So, I mean, that's a good thing, isn't it? That's the query is that last race. It was just a bit disappointing, wasn't it?
Okay, so that's those ones. Now, we've got some trial form here, Paul, for Turin Red Sun. He runs 6th in this trial. We haven't seen him since the 20th of November, and he's coming back from the 1600 last time. Just his second try at 1400 this week.
I just wonder if this is a stepping stone for him. Look, for something else. I mean, he's kicking off his campaign with this race. So, look, I haven't put him in. 90
days first up off the Jockey Club Mile. Trial was okay without getting carried away there. Shadow Rolls going on board. Thought last start in that race, the Jockey Club Mile, even though it was a strong race, Golden 60, the winner, he had every chance.
Okay, so that is Turin Red Sun. More trial form here, Tom. This is Blaze Warrior, 3-time course and distance winner. There he is in those yellow sleeves and yellow cap, turning for home. He comes to the outside.
And he's another one to come out of the Mr. Ascendancy form race, and there was nothing wrong with the trial. He looked to be held together quite nicely here. Only just battled away fairly, I thought, last time out, but comes up with a better draw, Paul.
He does. Look, he's a smaller field, which will help him. Just with the last two runs were a little bit below par. That was just a little query I had with him.
That was a 5th behind Lucky Swain S, and then that 7th behind Mr. Ascendancy, beaten 3.5 lengths. So there is a look at every runner in the race here, Tom. There's such a discrepancy in weights. Beauty Joy 135. You've got the Golden Scenery and Beluga, who races so well in Class 1.
Yeah, well, Beluga, he's got a great record in this grade. 3 placings from his 3 starts. Just got sort of headed the last little bit last time out in that race there behind Mr. Ascendancy. He did actually hit the front there. He's another one that had a quiet trial. And Matthew Poon has got on well with this horse last time out, Paul.
Yeah, he does. He's just slightly out of the handicap, isn't he, Beluga? But look, he's going well at the moment, and he does come in well at the weights.
All right, so we've analysed them all. We can't give you any more than that, Paul. Who do you like?
The Golden Scenery. I just think the Golden Scenery is going to hit the line really strongly, and with this lightweight, barrier number 1, he's going to get every opportunity. So he's a very consistent horse. Beauty Joy's got to carry the weight. Beluga in there for 3rd with the lightweight, and Cordyceps 6. We'll put him in on a very minor line. 6, 1, 7 and 2.
Yeah, I like number 6, the Golden Scenery here. Thought he probably might be one of the better bets on the program at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon. Always consistent. Barrier number 1 should get a good run in the small field, and was only beaten a length last time out behind Mr. Ascendancy. Prior to that, placed 3rd at Group 3 level behind Lucky Swain S. We know how good that form has turned out to be. So the Golden Scenery over Beauty Joy, not an overly big horse, does have to carry the big weight here, and hopefully he's on one of his going days. Beauty Joy. Beluga's in number 7, and I thought Blaze Blaze Warrior coming back here to a suitable race, I think, over the 1400 metres, dropping 10 pounds in weight out of a good form race, and a handy enough trial that should suit him. 6, 1, 7 and 4.
And before we head to a break, a reminder about Hong Kong Direct. Tom Wood's the man in the seat this week. He talks to Andrew Harding, Executive Director of Racing, live from the Asian Racing Conference, which has been happening in Melbourne. And we'll also hear from Harry Bentley ahead of a big meeting coming out of Qatar this Saturday night, featuring Senor Toba and also Russian Emperor. You'll find that on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video and look for Hong Kong Direct. But this is Racing to Win. We're off to a break. Back to look at a very interesting Class 4 right after this. You're watching Racing to Win, Hong Kong's twice weekly preview show, and we're looking at Sha Tin on Sunday. We've seen the Class 1 race prior to the break. We're going to look now at race number 6, which is a Class 4 over the 1200 metres, and it lines up this way. Happy Fat Cat carries an extra 14 pounds for his last start win. Mr Majestic has a shadow roll going on. Prince of Porty, an extra 6 pounds and 200 metres for his debut win on the 21st of January. Module Construction has a wider draw. We've got first starters either side of him. Green and White 3 trials, Packing Present below him 6 trials. Cool Blue's been back to the trials since finishing down the track at Happy Valley last time. Smart Leader, he's been racing okay at his last few. Trust Me draws 12 again. Snow a Lot's likely to be running on, and Smart Beauty coming back in trip from the 1600 to the 1200. Now the speed map here, Tom, with interesting runners like Green and White coming into the race. We've also got Prince of Porty, but a noted leader in one Happy Fat Cat.
Yeah, they'll be hoping with Prince of Porty that Happy Fat Cat will set up something to chase for him this time around, and he likes to go forward. He's got barrier 4, Jack Wonga on board. Red Titan might be able to be a little bit closer this time around, got a long way back from a wide draw last time out. Module Construction's drawn a little awkwardly, Paul, and Cool Blue, he had to be used up in sort of the early stages last time out and was deemed disappointing.
He's still green, Cool Blue. He's not the finished product yet. You see him in his track work. Look, I think Green and White, who's one of the first starters, he might have to go back. He has gone back in his trials. Packing Present, another first starter. Those two have sort of gone back. Easy Snip should get a good run, and he was a bit unlucky last start.
But as far as the speed map goes, the horse we're going to focus on first is that one, number 3, Prince of Porty. 1 start, 1 win. Zach Purton on board that day. He rides again on Sunday, and here's Zach with Nick.
Zach, Prince of Porty made arguably perhaps the best first impression on debut. Goes to the races again on Sunday, stepping up in trip this time as well.
Yeah, we trialled him around the corner recently, and although he was on the wrong legs, he seemed to trial quite well. He's drawn a good gate. He's going to be in the right spot. And I like the way he went first up when he had to dig deep and find. He certainly did that. He was up for the task. So, you know, he's a horse that I think has got a bit of a will to win. So hopefully he carries it on.
Just visually, I suppose, on the performance last time, it would seem perhaps that there is that little bit still to work with. Do you think going up in trip will bring out a good bit more in him?
Yeah, so I was a bit surprised first up because he'd shown a lot of speed, a natural speed in his barrier trials, and for whatever reason on race day, he took a while to get into his stride and get comfortable. So he was a little bit further back off the pace than what I expected, but when I asked him, he continued to lengthen and he got to the line strong. So we're hoping over the 1200 metres he can take a more comfortable position, and hopefully it helps.
I guess that's aided from gate 2. You've got a bit of pace, a couple of doors down with Happy Fat Cat, so you should get a lovely run into it, shouldn't he?
Yeah, hopefully he shows his customary speed and gives us something to chase, and he's in good form, so he's a nice horse to look at.
In the 2 he beat, we saw Cheval Valiant at Happy Valley on Wednesday night, and Flying High also runs over the 1,000 metres again on this card. But, Paul, back to the race itself. We've heard from Zach. What did you make of Prince of Porty? The areas there, you can't miss him with that huge white blaze that he's got.
He's a flashy horse, isn't he? I thought he won really nicely here, and I thought the best part of this was he's still green and he was learning, but the best part I thought was the last 100 metres. Now, it's just going round the bend, I suppose, the query. From barrier 2, as Zach said, he should get a perfect run just in behind Happy Fat Cat. So as long as the bend doesn't hold any problems, I think he can win.
You can see he really attacked the line strongly late here, so that would suggest going up and trip here this time round should be ideal for him going from 1,000 to 1,200 metres on that evidence.
And there's his report card, Tom. There's just ones everywhere.
Yep, there is, and he's going to get a lovely run through from barrier 2. 29 days since that effort last time out first up.
All right, our next replay features Happy Fat Cat. That's him there turning for home. Been practicing this after failing with astrologer last week. So that's Happy Fat Cat. And we've got Smart Leader, Tom. He's been going all right, Smart Leader. He's been getting back and running on. There was plenty of money for him this day. He was green lamped. Yeah,
Zach Purton was on board last time out, Smart Leader, and he's jumped off for here to stick with Prince of Port. He was making a bit of ground. His last win was in Class 5 off 39. Happy Fat Cat, Paul. Pierre Ung's taken him from a rating of 39 up to 58.
Isn't he going well, this horse? He's won 2 of his last 3 as well. He's up in weight though here, isn't he? He had the apprentice claim last time, 14 pounds more, 135. I think he just might struggle. He just lasted there, didn't he?
He did indeed, Happy Fat Cat. So that's that too. Now we're staying at Sha Tin, Paul, and the replay here features Module Construction. There he is on the inside, and the other horse in this one is Red Titan. He had a perfect run in this race, Module Construction, but it was a strong field. He bumped into the in-form and impressive Supreme Lucky, who also runs at this meeting. He does have a slightly wider draw, though.
He does. That's the query. Look, we saw on that speed map, I think he can get across outside the leader. He might just have to work a little bit to get there. That was the point making in that map. But look, Red Titan, look, he's drawn a lot better in barrier number 5. He drew 12 here and got too far back. So I think he'll be a little bit closer. But of the two, I think Module Construction can improve on this. So I'll put him in on a minor line.
Yeah, I didn't mind him for his first up run there because his trials had actually been okay and he ran well at a decent price. I'm going to include Red Titan on that effort as well because with the better barrier draw this time round, I think that brings him into calculation.
Barrier number 5 for Red Titan. He had 12 in that replay we just saw, and that was 1,200 metres also. Next up, Tom, now Easy Snip gets held up for quite some time down the straight here. He eventually is able to get through, and to his outsiders, Trust Me, who's not having a bad season at all. So it's interesting to see what he does, Easy Snip, when the run comes, because it's not there for a while.
Yeah, and he just had no luck at all until sort of the last 200 metres when he was able to dive through and challenge them late. Only was just denied there by Happy. For all you can see him, he still can't get out here. Trust Me, it loomed up. He's got barrier 12 again. He's on about his right mark, Paul, but barrier 12 again, a little tricky.
Yeah, I think it is tricky for him. I'm going to include Easy Snip though, because as you said, he was pretty unlucky, and once he hit the line, he did hit it strongly. So I think he is to go in.
Okay, that's a good report for Easy Snip. Now we've got Snow a lot here, Paul. This is him in the white colours. He's able to come through in between horses. Also in this race is Mr Majestic. He's well back in the purple and red. Are you making a case for either of these two?
No, I think Mr Majestic, he'll get back. Look, Snow a lot. I mean, the second wasn't too bad, Snow a lot, but there's only one, and that was on debut a while ago now. So, look, it was a better run from maybe he's getting there, but look, he didn't make it in for me.
He went to attack Baby Crystal late here, did Snow a lot. So he was right on the cusp of going, and he's only been defeated by a short margin. Mr Majestic in that race never travelled.
Okay, so that's those two. Now here is a first starter, Tom, green and white, and there he is up against the outside. Good owners, they've named him after the colours he wears, and Module Construction's coming down the middle. Yeah,
and he's a son of Smart Missile is green and white. Now that's Module Construction, as you mentioned. This was before his debut run, but green and white here, 325,000 out of the Magic Million 2-year-old sale. He's been looking good in his trials. This was the trial down the straight 2 trials ago, and looked to do it really well, Paul. So, look, I think off the evidence we've seen at the trials, we're going to see another one shortly. He's been looking good.
He has looked really good. He's had the 3, 11.75 pounds. The only query is the draw, really, barrier number 13. He might just be a little bit further back than he would like. But look, he does look smart.
And as he hits the line there, that's really the only trial where they've allowed him to run to the post in front. The rest he's been hard held. Here he is at Happy Valley, and he's over on the outside there, Paul. So in this one, he ended up running 7th, but he wasn't asked to do anything.
No, he wasn't, and you can see he was held up here. So from 13, with the pace with Happy Fat Cat in the race, I'm sure he'll go back. And look, you can see him doing it nice and easy here. So it was just a maintenance trial, really, educational, really, I'd say.
And if they have to sit 3 wide and with some cover, sometimes on the A course, the 3 wide line at Sha Tin's not the worst place to be. So look, barrier 13 not ideal, but I think he's got big chance.
How good's this man's horse is going at the moment, Tom? Ricky Yu, and the debutantes are going as well as the rest of the stable.
They are 50% winning strike rate there from his PPGs that he's lined up for this season. He's still got plenty. He's got 14 named horses that are yet to debut from his stable, and he's had 12 winners across the last 10 meetings, 3 on Wednesday.
He's low flying, isn't he? The stable's going so well at the moment, so I mean this looks like a really promising debut from him.
He's green and white in.
He's in for second. I just thought Principauti might get the first run on him, but he's got 2 versus 13, and Principauti with that run under his belt, I've gone him over green and white. Easy snip unlucky last time in Module Construction, 3-5-12-6.
I know he's got a sticky gate, green and white, but I'm going to take a chance with him to run over the top of them with the pace in the race. Over Prince of Port, he's got the race form next to his name, Module Construction and Red Titan from a better draw, 5, 3, 6 and 9.
2 of the races previewed here on Racing to Win, which means there's 8 others, and who's some of Paul's picks?
I thought Fortune Masters close to a win. He's been going really well at the moment. It's a real, not a strong race. The first winning steps win a really good races last time. He's drawn to get a really nice run. We saw Module Construction. I thought Inno Construction could win his race. Cheng was impressive last time. Winning Dreamer, I'm going to put in at a bit of a price because with the blinkers back on, back to 1,000. 5G Patch was good. I thought Magnet can get to the front from his wide draw. And Talabagil still in this hunt for the Derby.
And you can find all those race breakdowns on the website, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. Bit of construction this meeting. You'd be a Meccano set man, wouldn't you, from years ago?
Yep, one of those slot cars, Meccano, all that type of stuff. So he's the best in a construction. Race 4, number 3, 2 seconds from his 2 starts. And Winning Dreamer, blinkers back on, back to 1,000 metres. Hopefully he comes up a decent price. I think he will. Race 7, number 3. And we'll do the play in race 6, the one we've just talked about with Principauti, green and white, and Easy Snip QQP.
Best bet for me comes up in race 3, number 6, the Golden Scenery with the lightweight in the Class 1 race. So race 3, number 6, the Golden Scenery. Diamond to Flea, you'd want a price about him on what he did first up. Ruin Meyer, Ricky Yu has got a tricky draw but up and trip. And Running Glory Butterfield, 5G Patch the play in race 8, the Cup.
He was good to us last time, so it's Ching again. Race 5, number 1. That was his first time at 1,600 metres. He was far too good for them. Thought he could make it 2 in a row. Winner Method comes back to the 1,000 for the first time in ages. All 3 wins have been at the 1,000 at Sha Tin. And the play, race 5, 1 Ching, 6 Flying Mojito, and 9 Indigenous Realm, 169 in a QQP. That has been Racing to Win for Sunday, Tom. And then we're back to Happy Valley on Wednesday night.
Yeah, we've got a 9-race card coming up there. The majority of the action, Class 3, Class 4, Class 5. Yep,
so another 9-race card. Look forward to that on Wednesday night. And some good racing, some right even racing, I think, throughout the card on Sunday. Should be some pretty good one. Maybe we'll get some more clues for the Derby.
We might indeed. That's been a look at Sha Tin on Sunday. This has been Racing to Win on behalf of Tom and Paul. See you for the first at 1 o'clock.